So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to today. Oh, just bit me bloody tongue. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to today's video. We're going to be diving into a little bit more PES 2022 news, or mainly an interview that I'm sure you guys have seen. It's circulating around. A few people have already put out videos like NightMD, etc. Camaldino, who, credit to you, thank you very much, Cam. You did put this out on Twitter, and you know, it had really high res quality. So big shout out to Cam for doing that, because it makes it a lot easier for us. But if you want to skip the video, go ahead, it's up to you. But I want to give my opinions, and I think that's the main thing. You can have loads of different sources, loads of different channels, but at the end of the day, you know, we've all got an opinion. So that's kind of what I'm going to be talking about. Anyway, here it is, the Play magazine, still around. God blimey, I remember the days where, you know, you used to go to the newsagents. Used to pick up a couple of magazines and read about them, like PES 5, 6 way back in the day. And it's all changed now, isn't it? It's all digital, but it's nice to see there is actually still magazines lurking. There's Deathloop. I'm actually quite intrigued about that game. But anyway, PES 2022 Photoreal footy on PS5. Konami sheds light on its console debut. So that was the cover. And at least, you know, it had a little section. A little one. I mean, if it was FIFA, it would have took the whole bloody cover. Anyway, let's dive into the actual article itself. All right, so we're going to run through this. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'll leave timestamps, as always, if you want to check them out. But yeah, let's dive into this, and I will zoom in so you guys can actually read it if you would like, but I'm going to read it out anyway. So there it is. PES 2022 shoots for photorealism. Konami reveal its ambition to create the best-looking PES ever on PS5. Well, first of all, yes, it should be the best-looking PES. I mean, that makes no sense, because every PES should be better than the last. That's the way technology works. I mean, if you got PES and then the next game graphically worse than the last one, you're wondering, what on earth have you been playing at? All right, so here we go. With Konami's revealing... With Konami... It's not even English. By me. With Konami revealing it will miss this year's E3, which is now an online conference beginning on June 12th. By the way, that date right there, folks, mark it in your calendars. That is my birthday. I'll take any form of gifts. Some fans have been left fearful this year that eFootball PES 2022 will be delayed. While we have no news on whether that's the case, Sitaro Kimura, hopefully you got your name right, mate, because you know my name pronunciation, eFootball PES series producer at Konami, has spoken to us about the team's ambition for the next installment. It's exciting news and gives us confidence the game will release as usual this autumn. It may come out a bit later, we don't really know. So the main thing here is, I don't really want to read the whole thing because some of this is just, you know, the usual spiel. So they were talking about sort of the PS3 to the PS4 and all that. But I really want to focus on what he's saying, because that's the whole point of an interview. So, this is what he was saying, right? I think it is important to be able to experience the excitement and sense of accomplishment that football has in the game, says Kimura, when we ask what a PS5 next-gen football game needs to offer. Not to mention being able to play games in photorealism, he teases. Now, obviously, this article is catered around that. There's no real discussions about gameplay. I mean, there's I don't know. We'll see. But this is really about the photorealism, and we'll dive more about, you know, into that if that's a bit of a concern, if that's all they're really thinking about. But yeah, basically that's what he said there. Speaking specifically about the challenge of meeting expectations for a PS5 game and the desire for photorealism, Kimura reveals the team's views on the beginning of the era of PES on Sony's next-gen console, right? Doesn't really matter. This is PS5 or the new Xbox. It's all the same stuff. The performance of the PS5 is incredible. Well, yes, it's pretty good. And while benefiting the... I can't talk, man. I need to reset myself. So the performance of the PS5 is incredible, and while benefiting from it, we have faced many challenges and feel that we are all steadily approaching the next level step by step. There you go. He says, before explaining further, however, no matter how good the performance of the PS5 is, there are various restrictions, and therefore, I think it is an extremely difficult road to reach the next level. This is because the photorealism we aim for is exactly the reproduction of the real world itself. Okay, I'm going to continue to just read about this stuff and then go back when points are valid. Then he talks about here, this next level realism includes atmosphere of the stadium and the enthusiastic supporters, the players' passionate facial expressions, the texture of the skin and the hair, and the detailed movement of their muscles and sweat, even the seams of the uniform. So he's talking a lot about, obviously, the graphical fidelity here. And, I mean, I think my biggest concern is the fact that he mentions, like, you know, it includes atmosphere of the stadium and the enthusiastic supporters and the passion and all that. But where's that been for the last decade or two then? Like, you're only realizing now, in 2021, that, you know, you've got to get the atmosphere right, and you've got to get, you know, the supporters and the stadium and the presentation. No. All that stuff should have been realized a long time ago, folks. Look at NBA, and I think they mention it right there. Down the bottom, they mention NBA, and it's like, well, they've been doing this for ages, and now you want to focus on that more than anything else. Well, you can't be focusing on one thing more than the other. Like, the gameplay is still the priority here. Anyway, let's move on. The PES 2022 developer says making the new game photoreal is a cumulative process, one in which every detail adds to the sense of realism. We can say that photorealism could be achieved only by reproducing all these phenomena, says Kimura, adding, and to get there, we need to face yet more challenges. Now, obviously, they're translating this, that's why half this stuff doesn't make sense. Well, we know what it's saying. You get the point. But yeah, once again, it's all graphical stuff. Like, PES is already a good-looking game. Sure, up the fidelity of the graphics, make us have 3D beers, but ultimately, you know, I've never really complained about PES's graphics. I don't know why they're focusing on it so much here. All right, goal new world, whatever that means. We've already seen in other sports games how attention to small things can dramatically boost the sense of realism. For example, NBA 2K21's focus on crowd AI and the mundane detail of a hot dog vendor mingling in the crowd or fans leaving during breaks in the action heightens the sense of believability. Yeah, but the thing about an NBA game, right, think about it, is you're very close to the action. Like, you can see the crowd right there because you're very, very zoomed in. If you were zoomed in that much on a football game, you pull your bloody hair out because you couldn't see the field. NBA is obviously it's a different sport, but it's played on a much different size field or court compared to football. So yeah, you can add all the little differences of a hot dog man in there and people leaving, but you won't really see that when you're playing a football game. So for me, it's kind of pointless to mention it. In my opinion, it's about recreating the real world itself, says Kimura, who adds, let's move on here, skip round to the next page, that attention to detail in PES 2022 will be a mixture of player reactions and expressive behavior, as well as crowd and stadium animation. Well, at least you're mentioning crowds and animations in the stadium. The general definition would be reproducing a live action expression. However, that alone can lead to an inorganic and imperfect world. We believe that photorealism will be completed by adding various elements to impress users. Users know what the players look like. They've seen the enthusiastic supporters and they felt the atmosphere of the stadium. Therefore, the virtual deception is much harder. What on earth are they going on about? Seriously, some of this rewording, that's the hard part of translating something that they're saying into English. It sounds weird. Yes. However, this is the exact reason why we feel the challenge in this field is worth it. Achieving photorealism with PES 22, yep, that's the one, is indeed hard. Yes, very much so. Admits the developer, but says using Unreal Engine is enabling the team to achieve results. And that's my hope there, is them going from the Fox engine to the Unreal Engine. Obviously, it's going to be a lot easier to create some of these, and then they can focus on other things. Getting technical, he tells us, one specific example is that with the Unreal Engine, designers can take on various tasks without programmers' help by using Blueprint. By doing so, we believe that we can improve the production speed, improve the skills of individual designers, and receive many other benefits. Superb. All right, let's just move on. I'm going to keep plowing through, then I give my thoughts at the end of it, as always. All right, of course, factors such as lighting, animation, frame rate, and resolution are very important and necessary. Yes, they are. But this is not enough, shares Kimura. In addition to these elements, we must have the knowledge and skills of a camera for photo development in order to obtain photorealism. We learn how an actual lens captures the light and other features, and consider that expressing these phenomena is important. Phenomena? Is that? What is phenomena? Sounds like a bloody character, doesn't it? The way Kimura talks about achieving lifelike visuals in PES 22 leads us to expect something incredible from the next iteration of the series on the PS5. The developer suggests that with such heightened graphics, any mistakes in realizing a lifelike recreation of football will be noticeable. The team is working hard to merge the fluid gameplay seen in the series' last two excellent PS4 releases with photorealism animation and modeling. Animations are real at the time of motion capture, but how the animations are used in-game is important, and AI determines that, says Kimura insightfully. If something goes wrong here, users will not be able to concentrate on the game. It is necessary for players to choose the right movements in the game to create realism. I don't even know what on earth that means. Seriously, some of the... I know that they're trying to translate it from Japanese to English, but oh, blimey, half this doesn't make sense. We pose the idea PES 2022 will have the most realistic Messi beard yet. Well, that's brilliant. Absolutely. The dreams have come true. I've been waiting for you. Of course, says Kimura, please look forward to the quality of Messi, adding, but as for beards, you will have to wait and see if Messi actually has a beard when the next title is released. Wouldn't that be heartbreak for us all if, we lost Messi's beard? No. Okay, and then they've got this little thing here. Expect the same licensed boots and details, but created with richer detail. That's this right here. Number 2 there with Messi. It says it appears Messi will be the face of PES on PS5, beard or no beard. Got number 3 here. Kit detail will stretch to realistic stitches and textured materials. Number 4, which is right there, Barcelona is one of that exclusively licensed teams set to feature. I mean, it's a big name to have. And number 5 down here, achieving photorealism is about recreating how we think they'll see the world, often through camera lenses. So, that's it in a nutshell. And honestly, folks, I mean, this just really tells us that Konami are working on making the game look damn good. Okay? I think the real concern, and I know a lot of people mention this, was this part right here. When it said, the team is working hard to merge the fluid gameplay seen in the series' last 2 excellent PS4 releases with real animations and modeling. So they're not saying like they're building the gameplay completely from ground up. They're kind of merging the gameplay from the last couple of iterations and stuff. Now, I'm not hugely concerned with that because I wasn't expecting them to build a brand new game from the ground up, like everything, the whole graphics, gameplay. They just can't do that in a year or two. Not this day and age with the power of these games and, how much goes into it. Maybe back, 15 years ago, you could do that, 10 years ago. But games are a lot more developed now, more enhanced. So I'm not overly concerned about that, but obviously we need refined gameplay. And my biggest concern will be the collisions. How will they affect the gameplay itself? The Fox engine could have been the problem. And when they switched to the Fox engine to the Unreal engine, which they've obviously done already, then hopefully those collisions will actually start working and making sense, because we're still getting arms flailing all over the place and limbs are going inside limbs, and it's... What's that movie? The Centipede? It's like that, isn't it? It's disturbing, some of these things you see on some of these games. So that's probably the biggest thing. Will the Unreal Engine manage to sort and fix out a lot of the problems with the collisions and stuff? Because this article, they're just really talking about the photorealism, and that's great and all, but we need to see some gameplay at some point, and let's really see if they've done what they've said with the whole crowd thing. That's a big thing as well. Like, the presentation's key, Absolutely it is at the end of the day. And I know they're talking about NBA 2K21 and they're focusing on the crowd, but as I said, that doesn't really add up anyway, because, you know, NBA is a different kind of sport. Basketball for a start, you're closer to the action, you see more. Whereas on PES, you're further away, so we don't need ultra high crowd HD 420 million K graphics there. Just put a decent crowd in that sounds good, and then go from there. So you let me know what you guys make about this article. It is basically just talking about the graphics more than anything else, which they've obviously dialed into that, and that's what they're going for. But time will tell. Time will tell. As long as the gameplay has been worked on, you can't be giving us a rehash of this year or last year's game, because they've already done that. And there's big expectations, and that's the thing. Konami have to know that the expectations for PES 22 is pretty staggering. People are going to expect good things. So they need to focus on the Master Leagues, the My Clubs. You've got to sort out the gameplay, fix those problems, enhance the graphics, and yeah, you've got something there that might be worth playing. We'll see. And then when the mods start coming into play on the PC, well, it's going to be a different story. So yeah, you let me know below what you guys make of this article. I just wanted to kind of go through it, read about it a little bit. But ultimately, yeah, it's just about the graphics. So what would you guys prefer? Graphics over gameplay? Let me know. Until next time, we'll be back shortly with more Master League. And take care.